The consensus is all over social media platforms. From YouTube to Twitter to TikTok, many K-pop fans over the last few months are all saying the same thing on social media. K-pop is boring. But is it really? Or are you boring? K-pop's amplified media coverage consistently rose throughout the late 2010s, continuing to blossom following the COVID-19 pandemic. Becoming known for its flashy visuals, colorful concepts, and ambitious branding, its acceleration into mainstream media is still relatively recent, with many of the most award-winning and well-known groups only seeing their peak success within the last 5 or so years. So, why is it that all of a sudden, the majority of consumers claim that they're bored? I believe that there are two main causes. First, the powers of the industry have sacrificed the image that won the genre its international appeal. Music videos aren't as colorful anymore, branding isn't as complex and boundary breaking anymore, artists don't seem to have the same passion and enthusiasm anymore. Labels feed their artists and the people behind them the same prompt: make something trendy. The current mainstream K pop artists go for the same lyrical themes about internet fame, first crushes, and all the money they have. They chase minimalistic visuals and aesthetics to seem easier to follow and support, and the formulas used for song structure are the same. Some songs don't even have a formal structure, and just throw whatever sounds like something that would trend on TikTok at the wall to see what sticks. The artists that do consistently push the limits and try new concepts drown in a lack of promotion, in new algorithms, and if not these, they succumb to the statistics competition that K-pop has become. And this mindset isn't just the fault of the labels and their power. This leads me to the second cause in my theory: the fans. K-pop fandom culture has shifted along with the content that we see and consume. It's become a competition of who has the most views and streams, who sells the most tickets and albums, and who has the most prominent word of mouth and overall impact. Art isn't enjoyed in the K-pop fandom for the sake of hearing someone else's story or appreciating someone else's creation. It's enjoyed so that you can log onto Twitter and write a 200-character manifesto about how your favorite group proved that one fandom wrong. Labels profit off of the parasocial nature of their consumers, who are willing to leak each other's personal information and call each other slurs to win an argument and gain a couple dozen followers. Or, arguably worse, who are willing to threaten and compromise the safety of their own favorite artists. But even fans who go on YouTube and make video essays like this one, or watch them, aware of the problems with the current system and aware of the fact that things need to change, continue to stream the songs, buy the albums, or simply give the machine the word of mouth and the increased exposure it needs to capitalize on these issues, take advantage of the attention, and double down. After all publicity is good publicity. Even artists who have done terrible things will always have at least one inconsistent person to type up comments about how much they miss them, when really, it's the product they miss. Yeah, the reality is, the majority of the celebrities we know and love aren't really acting like themselves in the public eye, especially within the confines of the K-pop genre. We've seen artists fight out of abusive and inhumane contracts, not being paid a cent to consistently put out music for their company, and even project beliefs and values that aren't their own in a system that isn't for them, because both they and what they create are products, or at least treated that way. But again, we buy, we stream, we talk about it. All that to say, there are artists out there who continue to put out music with the same visuals and creativity that people crave. What has happened is people aren't willing to look for that art anymore if it doesn't have the views, the streams, and the fans. On top of it, many artists, including those who aren't popular, are being manipulated, taken advantage of, sheltered, and or abused with little to no creative freedom, sometimes little to no pay, other times little to no protection. In cases like Maiden's Karan and Luna's Chu, the labels are the ones they need protection from. But we don't know that until their NDAs expire, or until they file an injunction on their contracts, or until their companies collapse from under them and all is exposed. The signature look K-pop became known for is no longer its signature. Some fear it is actively losing its identity as a genre and as a form of music. And for the fans who have been involved with the music for long enough to see some scary and disturbing things, the naive ignorance to the industry's issues is craved just as much as the nostalgic visuals. Not knowing what to do with this nostalgia and sadness, we continue to feed into the assembly line. Teenagers enter the system, are molded, chiseled, and polished to perfection. The ones who don't end up shiny are discarded, and the minority who remain are lined up alongside others in studios to make music and on stage to perform it. The realization hits that performance is all it will ever be. In some cases, artists do have more freedom, and labels are more morally acceptable in their practices, but they still look the same as every other act. We go through the factory all over again. It's up to us as a collective body. How do we move forward? Thank you for tuning in to Mocha Jelly. I'll be back with more soon.